Hey guys, what's going on? I know it's been a minute, but welcome to episode 4. Um, Today's episode is about the fear of being vulnerable. Um, so we're going to talk about that. I'm going to keep this intro pretty short, and then we'll get right into it. But in the meantime, I released a demo EP. It's called Notes to Self. You can check that out on Bandcamp. The direct link is jmiller0326.bandcamp.com. That's jmiller0326.bandcamp.com. So please check that out. It's a free download. You can toss some money my way if you would like to support. That's totally cool. But if not, please check it out. You can listen to it for free, download for free, whatever you like. And yeah, that's about it. So enjoy the show. We got more to come soon. Stay tuned. Hit us up on social media. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of the Josh and Rob Show featuring
Rob and Josh, what is going on, everybody? It's been a minute. Hope you had a happy new year and a happy holiday season.
so today's episode is about the fear of being vulnerable.
Ooh, fear of being
Um,
vulnerable.
we're going to start doing some shorter episodes, I would say. That's kind of what we talked about.
Yeah, a little bit shorter. We understand everybody has a life and different things to do. You're on the go all the time. So we're going to pack as much good, positive information in one episode for you guys as possible. One episode at a time. And we hope you like that shift that we're doing. But we're back. We're focused. We left you for a little while. We had some different things to take care of. But we're here. We're committed for you. And we're in it for the long haul. But how you been, Josh? You
I'm
been
good,
good,
man.
brother?
You know what? I think too, like doing the shorter episodes, and hopefully it'll be easier to make them a little more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm looking at our little page right here where we write down our ideas and stuff like that, the things that we've discussed, and ideas of topics to discuss on the show. And it's a pretty long list actually of stuff that we've accumulated.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of material ready to go. And so hopefully in doing these shorter episodes, that'll make it easier for us to be more consistent. And then not only that, but you know, keep people who have a little bit of a shorter attention span.
No offense.
Hey,
Right.
it happens. Sometimes you get stuck on something, and you get distracted. You're like, I gotta do this real quick, and you jump into that. So
Exactly. So we're hoping you guys like it. Like I said, we're not gonna be too brief, but we're gonna cut it down a little bit and give you guys some good thought provoking topics that you could listen to, be inspired from, and share possibly with your friends. So, like Josh was saying, today we're gonna talk about the fear of being vulnerable, and I don't know. It seems like it's crazy in a time like this where everything is so out with social media that people still have problems, sharing things like their innermost, deepest thoughts and fears and feelings overall. So let's just go in it. Let's just go in raw. Damn, that didn't sound good, did it?
that's
Let's just go in
all
it,
good.
man.
We're totally gonna go in raw.
Yeah. You know
I
what,
like it.
man? Let's just
Who
go
doesn't?
in raw. Let's do it raw, man, and talk about just the overall process of sharing feelings, man. It's really hard to a lot of people, but what I find is once you get to that place and that space in life, man, you just get to a point where you know what, you just stop giving a shit, man, and you just start sharing yourself with the world. So, what's some of the obstacles that you had to overcome in regards to sharing your feelings, man? Let the people know, and I'll go follow up right after you, man.
Well, I mean, I guess here's the thing. For me, um, it's tough because all of us who are a little bit younger, maybe millennials, I guess if you want to use that label, we're used to the age of the internet and texting and all that kind of stuff, and you largely, if you want to, have the control to be whoever you want or say whatever you want or control how much is said, um, all that kind of stuff. You don't necessarily have to see people face to face as much
Yeah.
if you don't want to. Um, and you will get into more about that later, but I think a lot of that has caused a little bit of mistrust with people, and it's hard sometimes to let somebody connect to you on a deeper level. You know what I mean? Especially if you've run into situations where people have maybe bullied you, or
Right.
you know, put you down, or look down at you for saying something that was a little bit deeper, or wasn't just talking about the weather
Right.
or whatever. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
and I think we've all experienced that. Those are kind of my situations, I guess I would say,
Yeah.
where just seeing how other people treat each other, and seeing how others will talk sometimes behind your back, or behind other people's back even,
Yeah.
which I think is more common. You see other people talk behind people's back, and then you go, well, if you're talking behind this person's back to me,
Yeah.
what are you talking about me to anybody else?
Exactly. And I mean,
So I think that's a real thing for me that I recognized.
Yep. And I mean, that's something that, you encounter a lot on a day-to-day basis, people talking shit behind other people's backs and things like that. I mean, it doesn't really necessarily grind my gears like it used to anymore, cuz it's like, if, I am around someone who's doing that, and that person is pretty much calling me out on my shit too at the same time, then I'm like, okay, even kill. I'm with the person who is fair and is, maybe a little bit outspoken and honest with their feelings, but at least I know that they wouldn't necessarily maybe, do that to me, you know what I mean? Or maybe they could, man. But I like a person who, if you're gonna talk behind somebody's back, then damn it, if I'm around you while that person is there, then you damn sure better be saying it to their face, man. So I have a soft spot for people like that, man. But we're only human. But not to get too much off topic. Sharing the feelings, man. It's crazy because it's like nowadays with social media, like you were saying, everything has to be fucking perfect. Everybody wants everything to be perfect. I
Well, you
mean,
can control your image on Instagram
yeah,
with filters, or Snapchat with filters and things, and
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
um, there's all kinds of just stuff like that, where you can take as many pictures as you want, to find the right one, the right
yep,
angle that makes you look the best, or whatever
yeah,
the case may be.
yep,
I for one, I want to post like some goofy ass photo where I probably look like shit, but you know what? It's to me, it's
right.
funny, and it's entertaining.
Yep, and it's funny that you say that, man. Like honestly, I just posted a picture yesterday on Facebook of me with a porn star mustache, and I could give a damn how many likes it gets, and it actually end up getting a lot of likes.
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy about it. I'm noticing it, and my DM is blowing up. They're like, "Oh, you're so creepy." I'm like, "Okay, well, why the fuck are you in my DM then?" So it's all
Yeah.
about just not only sharing your feelings, but just sharing yourself, like we talked about in the previous episode. If you guys watched it, finding your tribe, man. It's not about perfection all the time. It's not about being perfect, man. This life that we live isn't a perfect one. We can't get through with all W's on our list. You're not going to win every time. And sometimes there's going to be some times where you may be in your feelings, and, you may say some things or post something that isn't necessarily you, but that's just a part of the process, man. It's life. We all grow and we learn from different things, and you can look back at it and cringe. Like I've did so many drunken nights when I've said things that I didn't mean, or posted things, or maybe took pictures or anything like that. But it's just all about being vulnerable and sharing yourself. That's how you learn, and that's how you grow, man.
Well,
Turning those weaknesses into strengths.
yeah, it's a process, though. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
something that you have to recognize is an issue,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something that you have to work on, just like anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I for one, I'm somebody, when I see something that, or when I recognize something like that, or maybe I'm even told to my face about it, which is maybe I would even say needs to happen more sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need to be confronted about stuff that you need to improve on, as long as it's constructive and not mean spirited. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm the kind of person who, when I recognize those things, I make an active effort to change those. I start even in my thoughts, even if I didn't say something out loud, I'm like, wow, okay, you know, that thought was kind of shitty, or you know, I'll think it out and be like, okay, well, you know what, I don't actually really know that, or
Right.
to be the case, you know, if I'm thinking like, oh wow, this guy's an asshole or something like that, you know what I mean? It's like, well, hold on a second, let me take that back, because
Yep.
and this is all a conversation I'm having with myself to try and better myself as a
Yep.
person, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But going a second ago, you said something about you know, just sharing things about yourself, and we talked about that in finding your tribe,
Yeah.
and I guess this is a good continuation of that, which is the way that, you know, you connect to people on a deeper level, the way you strengthen relationships and make better friends, and friends that are the types of people that you end up having around for your whole life, or
Mm-hmm.
that you stay in contact with your whole life. Those people are the ones that you share those deep things with, and you'll be happy for your whole fucking life. You know what I mean? When you meet those kinds of people that you can just be yourself around.
Yep.
And it takes a little bit of courage, you know, and sometimes you might need to build that up for yourself, or, you know, maybe you need to take a shot or have a beer, or, you know,
Mhm.
go out and have a beer with somebody, you know what I mean, to be able to open up about stuff. And for me, it's still a struggle sometimes, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be more open about shit even than I already am, and I like to think that for the most part I'm pretty honest and you know, forthcoming about stuff.
You gotta bust it wide open, Josh. That's what you
You
gotta
do,
do.
man.
You gotta bust it
You
wide
do.
open, man.
And everybody's gonna have doubts, you know what I mean? Even the most outspoken person is gonna have a
Mhm.
doubt. Uh,
Definitely,
you know, and
man.
it's not a bad thing to check yourself for a minute,
Mhm.
you know,
Yep.
but just don't let it, you know, take over your thought process or your decision making,
Exactly.
or cripple you into a corner where you're just sitting there alone by yourself, you know.
Exactly, man.
'Cause it can, and it will.
exactly. And you know what though, man? Just having that overall awareness is so much power in that, man. Because you know what,
That's
you're
the key, awareness, you know.
you're tuning into those weaknesses, man, and you're finding out how to transmute them and turn them into strengths, man. So for a lot of us, you know, weaknesses could be something as simple as just going out throughout our day and just, you know, maybe trying to treat people a little bit better. Maybe we have problems with people, you know, maybe we have social issues, maybe we have things about us that aren't necessarily cookie cutter clean and some people may see as unattractive or dirty. It's about uprooting those things, finding out what it is that you don't like about it, and learning how to deal with it. You know, sometimes it's not eliminating it totally from your life, but it's just about, you know, alchemizing the situation, man, becoming an alchemist, you know, and figuring out how to work it in a way to whereas, you know, it's not hindering your life and it's not hindering the people around you and the people that you have interpersonal relationships with. So, it's a lot of strengths that you'll find, man, once you begin to become aware of yourself and the different weaknesses that you have, not only with yourself, but with those around you.
I mean, I think you could say that strength, um, you know, is just your general happiness and
Mm-hmm.
like your self-love kind of,
Definitely.
which comes from just being yourself and being open about this, your interests or whatever, or your thoughts, you know. And there's a way to do things too, about being open, I think, about stuff, or communicating your thoughts to somebody, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, I'm a huge fan of constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people have a hard time accepting constructive criticism because you know, in my experience, a lot of those people, they take it as an insult, but really there's a difference between, and that comes with, you know, that recognition and really thinking about it, and not being insecure.
Right.
But like, you have to really think about something when somebody tells you something that they think about. I don't know, maybe it's something you're working on that you asked somebody's opinion and they gave you their honest opinion,
Right.
or they told you what they think that you could do to improve something. Or maybe you told a joke that just wasn't funny. You thought it was funny, you thought you were joking, but it pissed somebody off, and you know what I mean? And I know you're
Oh,
laughing,
yeah.
but like I've done this several times, you know what I mean? And I've had to be told, like, you know, I wish they would have came up to me and told me personally,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I would rather handle
Yeah.
it on that level so that I could just be like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, I didn't mean to offend you.
Right.
I was joking. I understand that it wasn't funny to you or whatever.
What about bad jokes though? Like just not funny.
There are just bad jokes.
I'm
There are
like,
bad.
damn,
We've
man, that
all,
was bad. You killing me.
yeah, we've all made bad jokes, you know. But and I think like, you know, if somebody's not laughing, your joke probably wasn't funny.
Yeah, your joke
right?
sucks.
Or
man.
if somebody's offended, your joke probably wasn't funny. Or, you know, sometimes you need to understand your audience too, who you're talking to, and
Yeah.
how well you know this person.
Right.
Those things all come into play, and you really just got to be. I think the overall theme is just being considerate to others. You know,
That is very true.
in these situations. So deliver your messages, with a little bit of a grain of salt, I guess. You know.
True, but you know what? For myself, man, I take all jokes as they come, man. But if you come with some bullshit, you're definitely getting the bomb. So I've heard them all. But anyway, you know, like Josh was saying, man, take it with a grain of salt. You always want to know who you're dealing with. As far as thoughts, man, you know, how do thoughts affect the fear of being vulnerable? You know, and how can you not necessarily change your thoughts overnight, but just kind of, you know, make the slow progression that you need to kind of come out of that shell, man. You know what I mean? To become that butterfly that you want to be. Because I know so many times, man, especially when I was a lot younger, man, there would be things about myself that, you know, I may have been a little bit insecure about, and one thing leads to another, and I'm in my head, man. You know, I'm creating an entire scenario, and before I know it, you know, when I get in the room, man, I'm just a ball of just all type of just negative
anxiety
energy.
And stuff. Yeah.
Anxiety, man, just negative feelings,
It's
dude.
just soul crushing.
Yeah, you create things that necessarily aren't even there, you know.
Yeah,
When
no,
you get
that's
in your
exactly
head too heavy.
You know, I'm gonna be totally honest, man. That's something that I still struggle with a lot of the times, is the fact that I have a very busy mind. I'm always thinking about something, or I'm always looking at something from maybe even too many angles.
Yeah.
You could make that argument, or I could make that argument for myself. And it does sometimes give you a little bit of an, you know, anxiety issue, or you build yourself up for something that's probably not likely to be the actual outcome. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
as far as your thoughts go, you can really, you know, fuck yourself up
Yeah.
with those things. And
Definitely.
I'm somebody who's done that. And as far as, I guess, what I do is, you know, sometimes it's just about jumping into something. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Man. Definitely.
You
Job,
just gotta
career,
push yourself off the
relationship.
cliff in a sense. You know what I mean? And once you're in that situation, usually you'll calm down pretty quick, because you'll realize, oh, it's not as bad as I thought, or none of these situations that I was sitting there thinking about are going to occur, or are even likely to occur. I did this yesterday. I can't even remember what it was about. I just remember it was something really stupid, and I was sitting there thinking about all kinds of scenarios and what could happen if I did this, and I went, all right, I just need to shut the fuck up to myself, you know, because I know that I do this too often.
Right.
And I get kind of irritated about the fact that I do it, which is just another level of stress, essentially, that I'm adding to myself when I don't need that at all.
Yeah.
So I kind of just shut it down for myself. And this is maybe because I understand that this is a thing that I do. But another way that I kind of combat that, personally, what works for me is sometimes just music, you know. I'll listen to music, or I'll apply myself to something like work.
Yep.
Not, and when I say work, not my job necessarily, but my my other projects I'm doing. You know, like whether it's something for the podcast, or or maybe it's recording music or writing a song or something. I'll apply myself to things like that, or I'll play a video game, or I'll play you know, the card game I'm always talking about, Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
I'll do something like that because it really just takes my mind out of anything. You know, I have to focus, and because I'm focusing so hard on something, or even like you could even read a book if you're somebody who reads a book.
Oh, a nice book.
You know, reading a book is a great way to take yourself out of your mind, and
Yes.
you just put yourself in another world, essentially. You know, the whatever the writer's mind, wherever that takes you, and that's another good way to ease your anxiety about things. You know.
Very true. As the great Billy Madison once said, reading is good. Reading is good. Make me feel good. Piggybacking off what you said about thoughts, though, man, in regards to people, man, my thoughts has screwed me over a lot of times because there is sometimes, man, a person, you know, I could get a certain vibe, man, and maybe they were just having a bad day. And, you know, before I know it, I've created this huge monster of a personality for an individual. And once you finally do get to meet a person by opening up to them and, you know, showing a little bit of who you are, you come to find that this person may be one of the best persons you've ever met, you know, in a while, man, or in your entire life, man, or could end up becoming your friend.
You prove yourself wrong a lot when you do this kind of thing, and I think by just jumping into something, you do prove yourself wrong, and that's ultimately a good thing because you realize you start to kind of get that awareness of, oh, I'm doing this really dumb negative thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can kind of catch yourself when you start doing it.
Exactly. I mean, like when we first met, you know, and you just had to bring up the hellhole, but I mean, this reminded me of it. Thanks for bringing up the job. God damn it.
I said not the job.
Damn it. Like when we first met, you know, I met you. I really didn't think much of it. I'm like, oh, here's just another cocky dude. Maybe he probably likes to flip his hair or some shit like that, and maybe just get on a good acoustic guitar and light a candle or something and, you know, make a girl go crazy or some shit.
There might be some people listening to this, they're laughing their ass off because they probably have the same fucking opinion.
You know what I mean? But it's like once I really got to talk with you, man, over the years, I'm like, dude, me and this cat got a lot in common. We're a lot different in many, many ways, but we got a lot in common, man, with our values, what we stand for, man. And look at where we are right now. We doing a damn podcast, and we on the what is this, the 5th episode?
4th episode, yeah.
The 4th episode.
5th coming soon. Stay tuned.
Yep, definitely. You guys will not have to wait another month. But with that being said, man, a lot of times our thoughts can screw us over. So it's just really, you know, you have to be open to yourself, man, and to other people, man. And you have to be honest, man. Honesty is so important, and it's something that's overlooked in these crazy times that we're living in, man. People just being real. The more you do that too,
the more I feel like other people will open up to you as well, and they'll be honest because once you kind of you're sort of setting the bar a little bit to somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're putting yourself out there, and you're saying like, hey, here's a little piece of me.
Yep.
That I'm offering up.
Yep.
And then it sort of eases the tension for that other person, maybe.
Exactly.
I would think.
Exactly.
You know, why wouldn't it? You know.
Yep. Very true.
So they have nothing to fear, really. They might even be like, oh, hey, this I feel the same way about whatever you said.
Exactly.
You know?
And this may be a poor analogy, but I just thought of this. Speaking of thoughts, so I have to let it out. It could be compared to, okay, I enter a room, there's another person there, I strip naked. Okay, this person sees me naked.
I have no idea where this is going.
Oh my god, he's naked. So I've already exposed myself to them. So maybe they feel a little bit more comfortable exposing themselves to me, and we're both naked. And then next thing you know, we're having a great conversation together. You know, I say, hey, you have a wonderful body. She says, oh, you have one too. You never know. We may end up hitting it off, and years later, we have a family and a baby. So you have to be honest. You know, you have to be open. You know,
I will say I don't recommend just stripping naked anywhere to just anyone right off the bat. But
I know that was a horrible example. I know, but I just thought of it like, you know.
I mean, you guys do you, but you know.
You ever heard the phrase, "Just imagine everybody naked"?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Our drama teacher used to say that shit to us all the time. I was like, damn, I wish I could imagine you naked. Shout out to Miss Bowles, by the way. God, she looks good. I'm being open without the fear of being judged and being honest.
Hey, hey, man, you know, it's a good example because, you know.
There it is.
This is something, people who know you, like, this is just kind of how you are, you know what I mean? You say these kinds of things and, like, some people might be shocked right off the bat, but I feel like there's a lot of people around sometimes, maybe when we're at work or whatever. There are people around who might overhear you say something goofy, or maybe you're making some goofy sounds,
Yeah.
and they're kind of like they kind of walk by and go, "What the hell
fuck
is
that?
this shit?"
Exactly.
But then they end up like talking, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They end up being like, "Oh, what's going on?" You
Yeah.
know.
Every time, man.
So I think it does kind of work as a little bit of
Yeah.
a weird icebreaker, even though you weren't intending to
Not really.
converse with that person in the first place.
Not at all, man. It's just about being comfortable in your own skin. And the thing about it is this, man. Like, I know the type of person that I am, and I don't necessarily think everything that I do is right or righteous or,
Yeah, but you do what works
so
for you.
yes, socially acceptable or anything like that. But you know what, man? As far as I'm concerned, and as far as I know right now, this is my only go around. And at this point in my life, I just want to fucking be me. If I want to make funny noises around the house and it's just me in the house, I'm gonna do it. If I want to leave 1,000 voicemails on your voice messages and make funny noises, excuse me, I'm gonna do it. So I just want to be myself, and by doing that, man, by being yourself, man, you get rid of the fear of being judged. You're more honest, man, with yourself and others, dude.
Eventually,
And
you
you cut
become
off-
comfortable doing it.
Yeah,
too, especially when you do it in public,
Yeah,
right, and around people that you don't know. When you can be yourself,
yeah,
you become comfortable in your own
Mhm.
skin essentially, and a lot of things don't bother you anymore.
Exactly.
You're not worried about weird looks that people give you,
Right. And once
stuff like that. And I think sometimes you attract some cool people doing that shit.
hell
you know?
yeah, and you know what? You attract cool people, and at the same time, you cut off the fat. You know what I mean? You attract the people
Yeah, you
that you
trim out
want
the
into your
people
life.
who are you don't need, that who really don't need to be in your life.
Exactly, man, and that's that's
Who
the
don't
point that I'm
accept
at. That's the point that I'm at, man. It's like it is what it is. I'm gonna be who I am. If it's a part of me that you don't really feel comfortable with, or it doesn't really resonate with you, that's fine. We're all different. We have different wants, needs, desires, and we're different. So by being yourself, man, and being out there and sharing that weirdness and, embracing that weirdness, like, Josh was saying in a previous episode, I don't remember which one, you are giving yourself that much more of an opportunity to attract the people in your life that you want and just to feel more comfortable in your skin, man, by being your
Yeah.
true, authentic self. That's the only way
Absolutely.
to be. You can't really fucking go through this life trying to worry about, pleasing other people or being considerate of other people's feelings who don't give a damn about you. They don't like the person that you are anyway. So you might as well be you. And if you're not hurting anybody and you're changing for the better and you're growing, but you still have that little bit of weirdness in you like we do. Well, I can't speak for both of us. Josh is he's such a playboy.
I have my own weirdness. Absolutely, everybody does.
Yeah.
To act like you don't have some weirdness about you is just to me there's no such thing as normal.
Okay, so we're gonna do something right now. We're gonna share. We're gonna be a little bit vulnerable, man. What is one of the weirdest?
Oh shit, you're gonna put me on the spot?
Yeah. What's one of the weirdest things that you've done within the past year?
One of the weirdest.
One
Okay.
of the weirdest things, man.
Damn, I wish we would have talked about this one beforehand, because I would have had something prepared.
What's something that you would not feel comfortable sharing with the entire world because you're just fearful of it? What is it? You want me to go first?
Yeah, go first so
I'll
I can
go
think
first,
about
man.
it.
Let's see. It's a lot of shit, man. So
I'm sure there are tons of things
With
just
me?
things that I don't think about that often, because they're just normal happenstances to me.
yeah. One of the weirdest things, and this is probably gonna sound really, really, really fucked up, man. God. Oh, let's see. I'm trying to break it down. Okay, I got 3 top things in my mind. Let's see. I took a piss in a sink about a week ago. That was weird as hell, right? I was on the freeway, man. I was just in a rush. I was trying to get home and I had to use the bathroom. Man, I think we were just coming from the bar or something, dude. So I break in the house and I see like a piece of towel is just missing from the basement. So I run down there. I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? Why is this piece of towel missing from the floor? Like, what's up? So anyway, end up cracked. And I guess I may have dropped the weight on it previously or something like that. But man, it was tinkle time. So my lazy ass, instead of taking a few steps upstairs, I'm just like, screw it, right there. I just dropped trowel, man, went in the washing room, and then I pissed right in the sink. And the bad part about it is I'm like, okay, well, my washer and dryer is down here, so I got to get new sets up and new tubes and different things like that, because you know how the water sucks back into the washing machine after it does the soapy cycle and shit like that. So, yeah, that was pretty weird. That was bad, man. Second weird thing about me, when I get home by myself, the first thing I do, I adorn my house with nothing but strange noises. I live alone by myself. Every day I come in, man, the alarm goes off. Boop, boop, boop. I hit my 4-digit code, and I just come in there, and I just start immediately just making funny noises off the top of my head, man. And I scream to the heavens. And it's just me, man. I make myself laugh. And that may be weird as hell to some people. It may be weird. I don't give a damn. That's just what I like to do. One day I did it so much, man, I could have swore I heard, a voice in the basement saying the same shit to me. I'm like, damn, is that me? Like, how did that happen? So we all got things, man, that some people may look at and say this person has mental issues or this person is just fucking crazy. But we're all a little bit crazy inside. So don't fear. Be yourself, man.
Absolutely, man.
If you want to do something crazy today, I would advise you to go do it. And Josh does as well. Josh, you got one thing to share or not, man? Are you going to let me keep blabbing on and
I mean, I don't
stuttering
know how,
and shit like
I mean, you're
doing
such a great job, man.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know how like weird this is, but honestly, like I can't think of anything that is like really shocking weird, but
I love sweaty women.
Okay, there you go.
I shouldn't have said that.
Well, hey,
edit.
It's out there now, man.
It's out there. If you're sweaty, get at me. Fucking creeper
anyway
for life. Creeper. Sorry, Josh. Go ahead, man.
No, I mean,
being my friend. That's weird. That's pretty.
You have to be weird to be this man's friend. But no, I would say like, okay, so there's I haven't streamed in a little while, but every time I would do a stream, I would set everything up, and I would start the stream, and I'd have my little splash screen that says starting soon, and I would walk out of my room, I'd shut the door, I'd walk all the way down into the basement, and I would do some pull-ups on the pull-up bar, and I would kind of like get my heart racing a little bit. And then I would hold my breath for as long as possible. And then I would do this thing where like I would take a huge deep breath and I would go for like as long as possible, which was a weird thing that my vocal coach years ago taught me. Is supposed to, it's just a way to see like your lung capacity, But I would combine all these weird things to try and prepare myself for like singing.
Okay.
Because I can, I'm not super worried about playing guitar and warming up that as much.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like singing goes, and if I have to sing live, I'm always fucking terrified I'm gonna screw up. So I always have to prepare, like do warm-ups and stuff. And I would do these weird goofy ass things where I'll sit there and I'll go before I start warming up with actual notes, where I go like do re mi fa sol la si da or whatever, like some shit like that. I'll sit there and I'll go like, you know what I mean? And like, or I'll do like weird shit like that, or even before I even start making notes, I'll do that. I'll be like, you know, like to kind of like, it's weird, but it helps me sort of get in the zone. You know what I mean? And I'll do that in the fucking basement, And then I'll come back up here. The stream's been running for probably like 5 minutes, you know, at that point. and then I click the start button and be like, "What's up, everybody?"
Yep. So they think you all cool, calm, and collected and
exactly.
everything. And little they know your ass been in the basement making
Yeah, in
bird
the background, I
noises
got a
and-
fucking weird ritual
yeah,
and shit. You
sounding like Birdman and shit.
know? Literally, I gotta get kind of pumped, so I'll do like sometimes I'll
Yeah.
do push-ups or something beforehand. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
that's
To get,
dope, man.
get the blood
pull-up
flowing
bar.
or whatever. Maybe that's not weird, you know, but I
think
don't know anybody who does all these things.
who's for a streamer. You know what I mean? Far as
Right.
yeah, pull-ups and things.
I
And
know
that
people
kind of breaks
do-
the stereotype.
People
you
do
know?
different things for vocal warm-ups and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't just do vocal warm-ups. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Like I get pumped up like I'm going for a run or like I'll stretch and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though I'm just sitting in a fucking chair
Right.
singing, you know?
Right. So screw being judged, you know, because
But-
that's where a lot of holding back comes from. You know, oh, I don't want anybody to judge me. I don't want anybody to see me like this. You know, I've talked to several people, man, who won't even post unless they're out somewhere or at a club or, you know, they got their guitar in their hand or whatever it is that they feel like will bring more value to them, man. It's about those moments that people can relate to, man. Those small moments, dude, like doing, you know, 100 push-ups or doing a pull-up bar or saying brrr in the basement before you do a stream. Or, you know, like me, walking into a house making funny noises and, you know, grunting and sounding like I'm, you know, on a set somewhere in Silicon Valley, you know, during one of those pops. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Or like now, how I'm sitting here doing this podcast and I just realized earlier today that I have on mismatched socks, black and white, you know. So eliminating the fear of being judged, man, and connecting on a deeper level than the surface with people, man. A lot of us, including myself before, have had that problem, man. Really trying to connect on a deeper level with people and just noticing the disconnect between online and in person amongst people, man. What's some of the hardships and some of the problems that you've run into in regards to that, man? Being online and being in person with people. Have you seen any similarities, or have you ever met anyone online and then in person they've just been a different person, or have you had good experiences? Have you seen certain personalities and they're the same way?
Okay, so here's the thing.
Because you would think that being on the internet, you would think that being online, man, and having a platform like we do, man, people would be more willing to share, you know.
And they are, and it's for better and sometimes for worse. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you get like a lot of the extremes and everything in between, where some people, because they are able to share,
Mhm.
and sometimes they're anonymous, they will say just whatever the fuck they want. Maybe they're even saying things that they don't believe, where they're just being negative or
Right.
trolling people just
Right.
because they think it's funny or they can get away with it.
Right.
But as far as like actually meeting people who I've like met through the internet in some
Mhm.
sort of way, I wouldn't say there have been a lot of those, but there have been a few,
Mhm.
and those experiences have honestly been great.
That's good.
But that's because usually the people that I've met them in some capacity where we had something in common,
That's good.
and or like a platform where we have a little community and discuss things.
Yeah.
Twitch has been a decent part of that. Even back in the day, like message boards were a thing.
Yeah.
I've met people through there, and those people are always great in person. You know what I mean? And I feel like we were able to kind of occasionally reach a deeper level
Mhm.
by talking online. But we had that mutual thing in common, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it started with that,
Right.
and you kind of become friends a little bit, and you start to become a little more open with each other,
Mhm.
and you're more willing to share things.
Yeah.
And then if it gets to that point where you do meet them, like I have, and in my experience, like I said, it's been great. So
That's good.
I have
man.
nothing negative to say, but I know a lot of people do have negative experiences, but I think that a lot of that stuff comes with just being smart about what you're doing and who
Mhm.
you're talking to. You know what I
Right.
mean? Some people are really just a little bit reckless about that stuff,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And to me, it's very easy to tell if you're talking to a real person or not.
Mhm.
You know, if somebody's trying to fake who they are or trying to solicit you for something or whatever the case, usually you can figure that stuff out pretty easily.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's people who maybe just want to overlook that stuff.
Yeah.
Or aren't looking for it who get sort of duped.
Yeah, and I'm learning that too, man, since being online. I'm like one of those young, old dudes. Well, I was like one of those guys, man. That shit just does not look good anymore, man. So I've definitely been trying to be online a lot more and share a lot more of myself, man. And honestly, in the beginning, it was kind of hard because I was holding back, man. And in some ways, I still am, man, because this guy knows me. And I go all day long, man. It's sometimes where he can't even take it. He has to literally walk away from me because of some of the things that I say. And, you know,
that's not the case, man.
It's thanks, man. That really means a lot.
I don't give a shit, man. You know that.
Thanks for sharing your feelings. We're turning those weaknesses into strengths. But I mean, when I first got online, man, and I was looking and trying to seek out people in the meditative community and in the spiritual community, I noticed all these people, man, they just seem so perfect to me. And I thought about myself. It's like, I'm dirty, like I say dirty things, I say dirty jokes, you know, but I have a pure heart, man. My heart is good. I'm a Leo, so I'm a fire sign, and a lot of times I'm, you know, real feisty, or, you know, I stand up for myself, or I may swear a lot, and sometimes I may be a little bit aggressive, but it's like I still can be a part of this community. You know, why can't I be a part of this community? I'm sharing myself and my feelings, but at the same time, I'm letting you know how far I've came as a person through meditation and how it's changed my life. You know, I can't be zenned out all the time, but, you know, it has changed my life, man, in a lot of great ways that, you know, I will share. And some of the things, you know, I'll hold near and dear to me, man. But, you know, it's not about perfection, like we said earlier. You know, it's about, like Josh said, finding those initial people, man, in the beginning who are going to be beneficial to your growth, man. And
I think too, like, hold on, I'll go back to something you said where, you know, I think that meditation, like, just because, you know, you are into meditation doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a certain type of person.
Right, because I get that all the time, man.
But you probably, you probably do. And then you probably have people who think that, like, people who meditate are these weird zenned out people, or they're these like
super
fucking
positive.
Yeah, or maybe they're like fucking hippies or some shit. You know what I mean? But like really anybody can do this. I mean, I was just telling you earlier when we were kind of doing a little show prep, that, you know, I occasionally meditate in the shower, and I do it like my own way, where I like to sit there and clear my mind with like the hot water, you know, kind of loosens up your muscles and stuff, the steam, all that kind of shit. Like that's occasionally I do that, or like sometimes I'll just sit in the middle of the room on the floor, and I'll play some kind of music or instrumental music or whatever, and just kind of close my eyes and chill the fuck out. You know what I mean? So like, but most people probably look at me and go and not think that I've ever meditated my entire life. And maybe you know, maybe I don't do it the way that you do it, or maybe I don't do it the way that you expect, or that maybe you've seen it on TV or in a movie or something.
Or it's like, well, you have to be a vegan and you can't do this. Like I like having beers. Like I just had a burger 3 days ago. Have I tried vegan? Yes, I have. But right now, I would like to wait to a point to whereas I'm able to get everything that I need, and then it would be no problem. Like I could do it. It's something that I could see doing because I feel a lot better when I do it, when I go without, you know. Only thing that I probably would miss maybe is a nice classic cheeseburger. But besides that, man, you know, it's like we always have to live up to these certain standards, man, that comes with being a part of certain groups, man. And, you know, if you fall short, then, oh, you're a fraud, or you're this, or you're that. No, I'm just being fucking myself. I'm being my true, authentic self. I gravitated towards this because it spoke to me. It spoke to who I am, you know. So it changed me in certain ways, and in some ways it didn't. You know, I still like to have a beer. I'm still going to say provocative jokes.
Well, there's no reason that you can't be
like
yourself at the same time that you're meditating. You know, like I feel like meditation is supposed to really just, you know, kind of calm you down, you know what I mean? It's supposed to give you some kind of perspective and make you able to think clearly. And
it's heightened my
things like that,
intuition, man. It's heightened my intuition
yeah,
like a
it's not supposed to
motherfucking
make
dude.
you a certain type of person.
Yeah, like I'm just walking around all day like a fucking zombie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, everything is cookie cutter. Everything is fine. Positive thoughts and happy feelings. Yes, I do have those, and I've trained myself to try to think positive. And when I'm thinking real negative thoughts, man, I know that they're taking a toll, on my physical health and, my emotional body. Yeah, so I'm going to try to transmute that and turn it into something positive, of course. But it's impossible for anyone to think positive thoughts 100% of the time throughout their entire lifespan. You're going to have some times where you fall short, even if you don't meditate. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, you're going to fall short sometimes. It's about how you get back up, man.
Yeah, everybody's going to have ups and downs in your life. There's you can't prevent that.
Yeah.
If you've never had like a low in your life, like
exactly.
I wonder who the hell could have ever had that life.
Yeah.
Like what's your life been that you've never had a low?
Right. And everybody wants to get to the fucking ending credits, man. They want to get to the rolling ending credits, but nobody wants to watch the movie, man. It's not a race. It's steps. It's progress. So as long as you realize that, man, you golden, you A1.
I feel like that's maybe like the the overall theme of our show, even, and just the idea behind it is just it's self-improvement, you know what I mean? And it requires time and effort in really considering your actions and your thoughts and really putting all of that stuff under a microscope and being willing to accept that you're not perfect and that sometimes you need to change or you need to make an effort to be better about things.
And accepting those negative outcomes, man, and not putting that pressure on yourself, man. So finding ways to ease that anxiety about, what may go wrong is really, really, really crucial, man. So do you have any type of methods or anything, any advice you could give to people out there about embracing those negative outcomes when they come and learn to move past them? When it comes to putting yourself out there and you don't really necessarily get the reaction, the response, or the outcome that you want, what's some good ways, and I'll piggyback right after you, that you could get through and overcome those negative outcomes?
Well, I'll start with you said ways to kind of prevent the negativity, and I think just being aware of when it happens, and trying your best to shut it down when it does happen. You know what I mean? Because it's something that like everybody's gonna have negative thoughts, and when you have one, or and it's just completely unfounded, and there's no reason you should be doing that. Recognize that and go, okay, let me distract my mind, or take my brain somewhere else.
Recognizing, I like that word.
The recognition of it is, I think, a huge key for me. Is when I notice I'm doing something that is negative or not conducive to who I want to be, or the type of mindset I want to have. It usually does not take me that much time anymore because I've been doing this for a while. But I notice fairly quickly, and I reassure myself. I'm like, no, okay, that's not what I really should be thinking about. And I kind of think about that for a second, reassure myself of the positives, and that I'm just overreacting to a situation, or my mind is kind of moving a little too quickly. And thinking about too much. And then I move on. I think about something else. Like I just, whatever the case may, whatever I'm doing, I just find something. And then what was the second part of that?
Shit, I don't remember. No, man, I was talking about getting through those negative outcomes, man, and kind of turning it into a positive thing, man. So you pretty much answered.
Oh yeah, okay. So I got there. I ended up getting there.
You pretty much
it's just a matter of like I said, recognizing it, and then and right there is positive. And I remember you saying something about negative outcomes of putting yourself out there.
Yeah, and putting
and
yourself out there, and you really didn't get back in return what
what
you
you were
felt like
expecting.
you put out. Yeah.
Yeah, or what you were hoping
A lot
for.
of times people can't meet us where we are because they're just not at that point yet,
That's a
man.
good point to make. You have to think about that. You have to recognize, again, recognition.
Mhm.
Um, recognize that not everybody is on the same page as you.
Mhm.
Uh, but you could take positives in the fact that you put yourself out there, because honestly, sometimes that's really difficult, and I
Yep.
still struggle with that all the time. And when I do, I'm like, well, shit, I did it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So even if it didn't happen, or whatever I was expecting to happen didn't work out, well, at least I did it, and I
Yep.
know now, and then I don't have to have that overactive mind where I'm trying to
Exactly.
come up with all the possible situations, because I know the
Mhm.
answer now. So I'm good. I'm resolved to the fact that
Mhm.
I can move on now.
Yep.
You
And what
know?
does that do, boys and girls? That builds a little thing called confidence. It's
Yes, it
about
does.
it builds that confidence up, man. And, it's crazy because a lot of you may be thinking, "Oh God, all these negative outcomes. How does that build confidence?" Okay, for instance, I put myself out there to a girl. I tell her, I've been thinking about you for a long time. I really like you. I think you're gorgeous. You're sexy. Yada yada yada. I want to hang out with you. I want to get to know you. She shuts my ass down so quickly. Okay. All right, say she shuts me down. Cool. I go to another one. She says the same thing. I know through this rejection, by taking the time to process it and realize, okay, if it is me, okay, fine. If it's her, okay, fine, whatever. I process it, I move on. There's a girl out there somewhere who I'm going to say that same thing to, who I will feel the same way about, and she's going to dig that. She's going to dig how open I was
Yeah,
with her.
there's
She's
somebody
going to
who's
dig that
going to
I didn't
appreciate
bullshit
it.
and
There's
play
somebody who's going to
games.
be on the same page, and who's ready to
Yeah,
receive whatever that it is that you're throwing at her.
yeah.
And um,
Just to bring it down
you're
to a
going to
point to where
be
as you guys can
yeah,
understand
and
what
you're
we're
going to have
talking
gotten
about.
to the point too where you're not afraid to say it to that person either. You know
Exactly.
what I
You're not
mean?
afraid to talk to any girl anymore. You walk in the room, you scan the room, you seeing who the most beautiful girl is. Bam. I
And
like
right
the
there,
vibe
like
she's
that's
giving
another thing
off.
for people. Confidence is sexy to people. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like people
Yep.
like confidence, and
Exactly.
uh, it just I feel like honestly, just even going up to somebody and asking somebody out. I don't know how we got on the subject, but just asking somebody out is showing some kind of confidence. You know what I mean? Or it's stepping up, and that's a big thing in itself, because as far as that kind of stuff goes, like people are really kind of socially awkward
They are in an age
lately.
in an age where social media is just popping and everybody is on social media and you see everybody taking these selfies. Like, we really don't know how to fucking talk to each other. Like,
You don't have to
why
be.
is it so awkward
It's
if
because you
I
don't have
want to
to be
ask a
face to
girl out?
face.
Yeah, you don't have to be face to face. Everything is behind closed doors. But it's like, meanwhile, when we get together in a room, there should be no ice that needs to be broken. The damn ice should already be broken, man. But, I mean, I guess it's a slow climb, man. But one thing that helps me out with negative outcomes when things don't go my way, when I put myself out there, is sometimes I may take a few hours or even a day just to process things, man, and feel those emotions and feel that rejection. Not necessarily get down on myself or be depressed, but just to take a breather and to step back, assess the situation, man, and feel those emotions, not necessarily burying them or putting them off to the side, because that's what really fucked me up before, was doing things like that. So taking time, man, to just you know, decompress, man.
Embrace the fact
And
that you have these emotions. You know what I mean? It's not
yeah,
a bad thing that you feel bad sometimes, or
right,
it's not a bad thing that you got rejected, or it's not a
right,
bad thing that things didn't work out
right.
this one time. You know what I mean?
And don't go back to being closed off either, because that's not gonna get you anywhere either.
Yeah, use that as a way to be like, you know what? Fuck this. I know it didn't
Hmm.
work out, but I'm gonna try that much harder next time to
Yep.
get whatever it is that I want.
There you go.
You know?
There you go, man. And there you have it, dude. This was a good episode. I like this a lot, man. I feel like what we're doing, man, we headed in the right direction. We talking about some real thought provoking things that people feel on the inside, that they may be kind of nervous to share with other people or anything like that. So I want you guys to let us know what you think about what it is that we're doing, and if you have any different topic ideas or anything like that, definitely shoot them our way.
Oh, I would love to talk about like something that
Yeah,
a viewer or listener, I guess I should
yeah,
say, submitted. You know,
yeah.
whether it's on YouTube or wherever we posted
Right,
it. You know.
right. The things that are not necessarily deep, but just topics that a lot of people aren't talking about, man. Like we're talking about so many different things that, I really don't feel like have a platform right now and that affect a lot of young people. I know two people who just, took their own lives last year. And it sucks, man, but people suffer from these things like depression and anxiety and different social issues and issues with themselves and their thoughts on themselves and sharing themselves and being open, man. And their relationships.
Yeah.
That's key. That's so important, man. The type of relationships that you have, are those relationships allowing you to be your authentic self, or do you have to bullshit your way through life with, not only your family but your friends and your significant others? So I mean, it's not a healthy way to live, and we're on this journey with you guys. Like we said, we're not 100%. There are no gurus here. We want to hear from you.
Yeah. I mean, I think if we can help be uh an outlet for some people, or we can help get some discussions started, even if it's just with just a few people like that. That's huge to me. I think it's important to get just one more person even
Yeah.
in the conversation, or to get one more person to feel comfortable about who they are.
Yep.
To me is an accomplishment. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what we're trying to go for here, is just to let it be known to people that we're in this too. You're not alone in the way that you think and feel. Everybody has their issues, and let's talk about it. Let's
Yep.
get it out in the open.
And a lot of people may be feeling stuck right now if they're in a certain situation in their lives, whether it be their career choices, their relationships, different things like that, man. You are not the only one. It is a huge world, and there's a lot of people out there that are going through internal wars that you know nothing about. So what's helped me a lot and getting through my different problems like depression and um, being dependent on certain things, it's about sharing. Find somebody to share your feelings with. Find somebody to share whatever it is that you're going through. You hate your job, find somebody to share that with. Find that listening ear who isn't necessarily gonna condemn you or judge you, but they're just there to listen to you, because a lot of times that's what we need. You just need somebody to just fucking listen to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you can find places online to vent too,
Yep.
or write. Writing is a big thing for me. Whether it's just writing a poem or writing lyrics to a song, whatever the case is, like find something to get it out there. You know what I mean? Find some kind of way.
Yep. Yep. And writing.
It's important to express your thoughts and feelings.
Writing is one of the oldest professions, and it has helped me. It's changed my life in so many different ways, man. The power in the pen or the pencil, man, it is incredible. So, if you don't have anybody necessarily right now, go to the dollar store. I would advise you get a pen and get yourself a diary, man. Write
Shit,
how
if you
feel.
don't have anybody, you've got us.
You got us.
Send us some comments on YouTube if you're watching this on
Mhm.
YouTube, or maybe you're watching it on SoundCloud, and or maybe you saw the post on Twitter or Facebook. So hit us up on Twitter at JRRJ _ show, or Facebook.com/JRRJ show. Send us some messages or something. Hit us up. Let us know if you want to talk about something, or you want us to discuss something on the show.
And while we're on that topic, should we tell them about the rant corner?
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna do the rant corner, so we want you guys to let it rip. If you're at job at the, god damn it, why am I stuttering so much today? Get that it's been a while.
Hey, you know
people.
what? We're both tired as hell. It's been a long week. It's Saturday.
Yeah, we literally just got off work and came straight to you guys. But anyway, what I was saying is this: we're starting something called the rant corner. We don't give a damn where you are in the country. If you're at work, if you're on break at the job, If you are in the backyard because the in-laws are in the house and you are just pissed off about something, we want to give you guys a platform. We're gonna create a hashtag, and we want you guys to send in some of your rent videos, just getting it out there, man. Let's keep it
or tweet at us, tweet at us with well, I don't know, what do you want to do, like hashtag rant corner?
hashtag rent corner, man. Tweet it at us, make some videos, whatever it is that's on your mind, man. As long as you're not coming with any like hate speech or any bullshit like that, because this is not the platform for that. We just want to know simply what it is that you are going through in your day that's pissing you off.
Maybe some guy cut you off on the freeway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Or maybe somebody maybe you went to the grocery store and somebody grabbed the last fucking carton of eggs or something like that right in front of you.
Right. Or you at work somewhere, you at work, maybe you had to use the bathroom and they had 1-ply instead of 2-ply. God damn it. Why would
maybe
you
had to
only
wipe
put
your
1-ply?
ass with sandpaper.
Oh.
1-ply, come on, it's basically sandpaper,
It is, man. It's bad.
Let's be honest.
We're
in the interest of being honest. Let's be honest.
That's that dollar store toilet tissue. It should break apart. You get the walk in like, wait a minute, something feels different.
The fucking thing that you pull that out of, it's trying to ration you by like you're ripping out like a single fucking square at a time.
Right, yeah, it's bad. We went from sharing feelings to talking about 1-ply toilet tissue. So hopefully we can make you guys think and laugh.
We got a wide range of feelings to discuss in this show, and that's just one of them.
Hey, it's gonna get even better because you know why? This is the Josh and Rob show featuring Rob and Josh, right? Oh, you were supposed to say the second part. I'm sorry. That's like the fourth time.
Well, hey, whatever.
That's the fourth time we fucked that up, man. We gotta get that down pat.
It's been a minute. Well, I mean, hold on. You fucked that one up.
Yeah, I fucked that one up. I tried to put that blame on you, man. Hey, you know what though? But I'm turning that weakness into a strength because we could just do it again.
Hey, we're gonna do it again in a second, and it's gonna be even better.
It's gonna be perfect.
We're gonna get it down, just like we did at the beginning of the episode.
There we go. So I think that was good, man. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling positive and pumped right now.
Absolutely, man.
You feeling good? Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate everybody. Thank you for being so patient with us. Please like and subscribe. Share some of our stuff. We two young guys. We out here doing our thing. Josh is incredibly talented with songwriting. With he's a badass guitar player. I just seen him get down on the drums. He's bad as shit. I've got a book I've got a book. No problem, man. I've got a book that's on the way right now. I'm doing my meditation thing with daily guided meditations. I just put up the YouTube channel. I'm still trying to get acclimated with that.
Hey, we're gonna put up all these links and stuff in the description, so you guys will be able to click on all that stuff if you want to check it out. Any of our social media, Rob's YouTube, any of that stuff, it'll all be in the description below.
Definitely. So we appreciate you guys, and everybody out there have a good week. We're gonna be freezing our asses off where we at here up north, but everybody be safe, have a good time, don't have too much beer. Unless you're indoors, have 6 to 12 if you're indoors, or how many ever you like to have.
Yeah, as long as you're not going anywhere, as long as you're not driving, right?
Don't drink and drive. And that is the number one lesson from the day.
Right.
Besides sharing your feelings and being vulnerable.
And that.
That too. All right.
All right, guys. This has been episode 4 of the Josh and Rob show featuring
Brad and Pitt. Josh and Rob, goddammit. Josh hates me. Josh hates me right now. Josh and Rob show.
No, it was good. I like it.
Josh. Cool. We good?
I think we're good, man.
All right, guys. We appreciate you. Everybody be safe and thank you. We are out of here.
See you guys. Hope to see you on social media. Hit us up.
Peace.